not put this fucking thing in there and just save it. All right, so real quick, the other thing cut off at the end. So what I want to say here real quick, since it's going to be a short video that people are going to click on because that's what they do because they suck. But I suggest you watch the entirety of my videos because it's shit that will help you and will save you from misery. I don't bullshit. This is stuff that happened to me. This is not stuff that I read in a fucking book. I didn't read this shit in a book, in Bob Duncan's books or anybody's books. This is stuff that has happened to me. And I'm smart enough to fucking deduce things. So this is stuff that has happened to me. The people that have written these books aren't targets. They're not people that were targeted with this system. Robert Duncan wasn't speaking from the voice and the brain of a targeted person. He was speaking from somebody who debriefed whistleblowers and people that work for the government and shit. So I'm going to tell you this real quick. I only have 8 minutes. It's going to be part 2 of this video. Is watch part 1. Please watch part 1. The entirety of it talks about large expenditures, drugs, alcohol, gambling, what to look for and what not to do, with examples of what went on with my family and what is still going on with my family. You know, so hopefully it can save you and your family and people you love and care about a lot of fucking problems if you can just know what to look for and try to convince people of certain things, because you're an overt target, yes, but the people around you are covert simulants. They're all people that can be manipulated through their neurology. So now listen, what I was getting to at the end of the previous video that just randomly stopped with 8 minutes left. You know, I love how it just stopped. How you know, I'm going to show you that everybody on this thing, everybody out there in the United States, around the world, is all potentially targetable, is this. My grandfather was born in Italy. And he had his left eye blinded by the system. He was rubbing his eye for like 2 weeks while he was sitting inside on his hospital bed on hospice. He lived to be 99 years old. He died a couple of months short of 100. So I went to feed him one day, and he couldn't pick up his spoon to twirl his pasta with his spoon and his fork. He was trying to pick up the spoon. He couldn't see to pick up the spoon. So finally, after a week to 2 weeks of straight radiation on his left eye, he's rubbing his eye, rubbing his eye. Anybody that's had their eye radiated, I'm speaking fast because I don't have a lot of time. Anybody that's had their eye radiated knows how dry and irritated it gets. You go, rub your eye, and he was rubbing his eye for weeks. And then finally, what is inevitable happened. He was blind. So I went like this, and I went to hit him, just fake hit him, so to see if he would go, Nicholas, what are you doing? You're trying to hit me? In his Italian accent. He didn't do nothing, didn't flinch, didn't do nothing. So I knew he was blind in his left eye. So he had a blind left eye. So what does the nurse do when she comes in, the hospice nurse? Put a wet compress on it, put a wet rag on it. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And that's what you got to deal with. When you know what's going on, and every other simulant in this world, this simulated world we live in, they're just fucking computer programs walking through the world. What do? The most rational thing they could think of. Tell you to put a fucking wet, hot, warm rag on the fucking old guy's eye. Like, that's going to do anything. They thought he poked himself in the eye. Okay. So anyway, he was born in Italy in 1919. Now you're going to say, oh my God, he was a target? In 1919, December 3rd, 1919, he was born in Italy. He came over here in the 1920s or 30s. In the 1920s or 30s, he came over here with my great-grandfather. And This is long before satellite dishes, long before invisible wireless cellular energy, long before you were sending shit around the fucking world in satellites. You had radio. Well, yeah, I guess you had radio. Could have had 19, yeah. Fuck yeah. Could have been the onset of Guillermo Marconi or whatever, the fucking radio dude. So you could have had the beginning of invisible energy, information, and stuff like that. But they weren't zapping it into human brains. So now, how do you blind somebody in their left eye and irritate their left eye to the point where they go blind when they're 99 years old, sitting on a bed, minding their own business in southeastern Pennsylvania? Well, just like me, just like you, just like everybody else, you heterodyne their brain, you give them a brain enumeration, you have to get them with some sort of intrinsic enumeration for the individual pieces of their body, which I talk about in previous videos. So somehow he was introduced with either nanoparticulate matter to the cellular level of individual systems in his body, and then they were individually enumerated in the computer program, so that way his left eye could be the target of blinding, not his right eye. How do you blind one eye and not the other eye? Right, individual enumeration of individual pieces of the subject, so that way it can have the highest amount of specificity when it comes to anatomical targeting. And he was born in 1919. So my grandfather's a target, my dad's a target, I'm a target. Everybody out there is also a target of the computer's functionality. They are called simulants. So the lady in red is the operational programming that they run on them. If you're never an overt target, you are always a covert recording. Lady in red, street theater. I only have a minute left, so you're always, if you're at minimum a covert recording. So they have your life recorded on the system, they have your neurology, they have your profile. You're a lady in red if you're never an overt target and you're never manipulated, harmed, hurt. You are always potentially a lady in red to do street theater, to interact, sneeze, cough, do the dumb shit, talk under your breath, say dumb shit to somebody. You wouldn't know that though, because that all happens covertly. And that's everybody out there. My grandfather was a target. He had his eye blinded, born in 1919, came from Italy over here. He wasn't born in the United States. My dad, born in Italy, came over here in the 1960s. My grandparents brought him over here. So that's it. Make the best of what is left of your life, please. That's my last and final thing. Make the best of